Hi friends, Santosh here. Today I am going to deliver my lecture number 7 on irrigation engineering, which deals with the diversion headworks and which is important for canal and canal structures also. So this is the basic part of irrigation engineering, and the students or civil engineers who are dealing with the irrigation engineering must know this part for their basic knowledge in irrigation engineering. This lecture might be useful for the students who are preparing for the MPSC mains, as well as it is useful for the diploma and degree level students, as well as young engineers to brush up their knowledge, and also for orientation of the experienced engineers. So let us start this lecture number 7, which deals with the diversion headworks. First of all, why such a diversion headwork is required, and what is that diversion headwork? When river carrying certain water on the downstream side and we want to divert that river water into canal, and for such a diversion of canal water some work is required to divert that water and to maintain the flow of water in the canal, and such a work is called as a diversion head work. The work which is constructed at the head of canal in order to divert the water towards the canal so as to ensure the regulated continuous supply of silt free water and with a certain minimum head into that canal is called as a diversion head work. So in short, diversion head work is the arrangement to divert the river water into canal water and to maintain that discharge or a flow. The diversion head work consisting of following component parts. You must know all these component parts and their functions. The first is the weir or barrage. This one, this is the weir or a barrage. Then second is the divide wall. This one is the divide wall. The third is the fish ladder. This one is the fish ladder which is constructed near the divide wall. Then stilling pond. The stilling pond is there which is created in front of that canal. So this is stilling pond. Then scoring sluices, under sluices or scoring sluices are provided here and at canal head work also. Silt prevention devices which such as silt excluder and silt ejector. Silt excluder is provided in the canal headworks or at the head of the canal, and certain level downstream their silt ejector or excluders are provided to eject that silt also. Then canal head regulator is provided at here, that is the axis of regulation, and this is the canal head regulation works. And marginal bunds which is provided on the upstream side, and guide bunds which is provided on the downstream side. These are the earthen embankments which are provided to maintain that canal water and river water, and such bunds are termed as a marginal bunds and guide bunds. So if river is flowing from this direction to this direction and canal water is flowing like that, then such arrangement which is used to maintain the flow of water in the canal is termed as a diversion headwork. So let us discuss the parts of the diversion headwork one by one. First is the weir or barrage, which is called as an anicut also. This one, this is the weir or barrage. The weir provides the obstruction across the river required to raise the water level and direct the water into canal. That is the simple. So it is the obstruction to the river water and which directs the water into the canal. It is aligned at right angle to the direction of flow of the river, which is common sense. And barrage, what is the difference between weir and barrage? Barrage is a gate controlled weir. Weir is not gate controlled, but barrage is a gate controlled weir, and barrages provides less silting and better control over the level of water. So instead of weir, nowadays barrages are preferred or recommended. Then second component is the divide wall. Divide wall is constructed at right angle to the axis of the weir and separating the weir from under sluices. It is the divide wall between the weir and under sluices. So it is very important. Please look at this figure. This is the divide wall and here there are under sluices are provided here. So it is the divide wall between the weir and the sluices. The main function of divide wall is to separate the flow from the scoring weir, which is at a lower level than the proper weir, to separate the stilling pockets from the scoring sluices, and to prevent the formation of the cross currents to avoid the damaging effects, and to cut off the main portion of the river, and to provide the comparatively quiet pocket in front of the canal head regulator, resulting in deposition of the silt in the pocket and enters clear water into the channel. That is very important. Due to this divide wall, this water is flowing through the river, goes away, which has a greater velocity, but the water which is turning into the canal has some silting effect, and stilling pond is created in front of that canal, and the possibility of silt flowing through the canal is eliminated. So that divide wall plays that major function. Then fish ladder. The name itself indicates it is related to fish. There are fishes flowing through the river, and for free movement of that fishes, such a fish ladder is provided in the diversion headworks. When a weir is constructed across the river, it forms obstruction to the free movements of the fishes. And to avoid this and to help the survival of the fishes, the fish ladder is provided. Fish ladder consisting of number of baffle walls constructed adjacent to the divide wall and near the score sluices. The design of fish ladder should be done in consultation with the experts in fisheries department, and this one is very important. The fundamental requirement of the fish ladder is that the velocity of water flowing through this ladder should not be high as to destroy the fishes. So the velocity must be in such a level that should be adjusted by the fishes flowing through the river. So fish ladder is used for free movement of fishes. That is very important. Please look at this figure. This is the cross section, and this is the baffle walls, and the openings are provided through that baffle walls for the free movement of the fishes, and the velocity is also maintainable in that fish ladder. So for fish ladder, two terms are important. It is used to free flow of fishes, and second, velocity should not be harmful to the fishes. Then we are going to discuss the fourth part, that is still pond regulator method or stilling pond. Stilling pond name itself it indicates it is the still. The stilling pond is created in front of head regulator as shown previously. The under sluices remain closed while water is flowing through the canal head regulator. Due to this, the velocity of water gets reduced. The silt gets settled and clear water is fed into the canals. So it is divided into two parts, and particles of the clay or slit get deposited downwards. The deposited silt is taken first by closing the gates of head regulator and then opening the scoring sluices. So scoring sluices is used to remove that silt, and after scoring of the silt from the sluices, they are closed and HR gates are opened. Then we are going to discuss the fifth part, that is the canal head regulator, where it is provided canal head regulator. In this figure we shown these are the canal head. This is the canal, and head regulation works of canal are provided there, and that arrangements are very important as far as irrigation is concerned. The canal head regulator is provided at the head of the off-taking canal. It is also called as a head sluices, and it serves the following purposes. It regulates or supply the water entering into the canal. It controls the entry of slit into that canal, and it prevents the river flood from entering into canal. So for entry and exit of the river water into the canal water, the canal head regulator plays the vital role. That is very important. Please look at this figure. Figure shows the FSL full supply level of canal also. It shows the river water level. Here there is river and canal is here, and the arrangement is also made for lifting of rod and carrying out this river water into canal water. The provision of road is also there. So please study this figure of canal head regulator very carefully. Then slit excluders, name itself indicates it is used to exclude the silt. Silt excluder is a device by which silt is excluded from the water entering into the canal. It is constructed in the bed in front of head regulator. It is constructed in front of head regulator. The fundamental principle on which slit control devices act lies in the fact that in the flowing stream carries the silt in the suspension, the concentration of silt charge in lower layer is greater than the upper one. That is the basic principle of sedimentation. If this is the water, the silt goes down. So upper part consisting of the silt free water and lower part consisting of the silty water. This is the fundamental of silt excluder. Hence, the device is to be designed that top and bottom layers are separated without any disturbances. The top water is then moved towards the canal and the bottom layer containing the high silt charge is wasted, or that silt is removed from that water. So that is the silt excluder. Please look at this figure. The figure shows the cross section also and plan also, and it shows the floor of pocket, it shows the edges of the slab, it shows the opening, it shows the piers, it shows the seal of the head regulator also, and it shows the cross section also. It consisting of the pocket floor, it consisting of the crest wall for the head regulator. All these things are shown in this figure of silt excluder. Okay, so you must study the figures also. Then we are going to discuss the part number 7, that is scoring sluices. Weir scoring sluices are provided at the flank of weir near the head regulator of main canal. Seal of under sluices is kept over slightly above the deeper river bed and above 0.9 to 1.8 meter below the seal of the head regulator. The deposited silt and soil are scoured through the sluices. So the arrangement is like that. They are creating the level difference, and in between that level difference the silt is deposited and that silt is removed through that scoring sluices. Then marginal bunds. These are the earthen embankments provided with stone pitching and are connected on the upstream side of weir at the level and up to the length that can contain the water in the pond created by the weir. So it is used for ponding of the water in the weir, and which are nothing but the embankments or earthen embankments and termed as a marginal bunds. Marginal bunds we shown in this figure also. This is the main figure, you must remember this figure, and this part is termed as a marginal bunds, and on the downstream side this part and this part is termed as a downstream guide bunds. So you must know the marginal bunds are located on the upstream side and guide bunds are located on the downstream side of river, not weir, also weir. Okay. Then slit ejectors, which are termed as silt ejectors or extractors. Silt ejectors are those devices which extract the silt from the canal water after the silted water has travelled a certain distance in the offtake canal. These works are therefore constructed on the bed of canal and little distance downstream from the head regulator. Silt ejectors are also known as a silt extractors. So please look at this figure. Basically, the function of silt ejectors or extractors is remove the silt from the downstream side of the canal, which is flow from the upstream side or canal headwards, and which is used to extract the silt. Here it is shown as a diaphragm is shown, canal bed level is shown, section CD, this is the section AB which is shown here, and this is the section CD which is shown here also. This is the section CD. It is shown here. So you must know these sections and these diagrams in civil engineering. For water resources engineering, we draw such a type of diagrams on the sheet also to know working of the silt ejectors, silt excluders, and all these diversion headworks. And I am going to deliver the next lecture on canal and canal structures or part 2 of this lecture. So please don't miss my further lectures on irrigation engineering, which might be useful to you for MPSC mains. And again, I am requesting you to please subscribe my channel for MPSC mains and other type of competitive examinations. Till then, bye bye. See you. Bye.